morning.
Indeed, it is a guise we've become familiar with, and as is the custom in Ford racing, there are a lot of cars to choose from. On the first version for PS1 and PC there were 12, in the second generation there were 32 on PC, PS2 and Xbox, and now 55 are available on Ford Racing 3. From the Model T to the latest Detroit concept car, with of course all those famous models from the 60s to the 80s, the American car maker offers quite a strong lineup. The goal of Ford Racing 3 is above anything else to unlock cars from the vast garage. To do this there are several types of events. The game's competition mode is presented in a chessboard form. You will have to finish the mini championships which offer different types of events. Finishing in the first three will allow access to other cars, and that is where the appeal lies in FR3. Some of the game modes are rather clever. The drafting mode requires you to remain behind the competition and resist the temptation to overtake. At the end of a certain amount of time in the draft, your rival disappears and you begin anew with another. The turbo mode requires the player to follow the ideal line, highlighted in green, and build as much turbo boost as possible. The elimination mode, where at the end of each lap the two worst placed cars disappear, is also very clever. The level of gameplay is where things get a bit dodgy. In the first few races, the normally aspirated cars require a bit of driving skill, but things get a tad ridiculous when racing cars with more than 200 horsepower. They're far too fast for the tracks they race on. The cars hit the wall from one corner to the next, and when you hit the brakes, anything resembling reality goes out the proverbial window. The problem is further accentuated by the presence of a sort of invisible wall along the side of the track. That bounces the player back into action. Throw in the absence of any damage to the cars that could have helped out, and you get the idea. There's quite a bit missing here. Graphically, the game is rather nice, and visually speaking it's better than average with rather complex surroundings. High marks for the sun effects, and the leaves that come off the ground when the competitors race by, and the dust that makes passing on the dirt a bit more complicated. As for the sound, forget the soundtrack. We couldn't take it for more than 10 minutes before turning it off. The engine sounds, while not the best, are above par. The V8S does sound like V8S, and the echoes in the tunnels are the best sound effects. In the end, the first few hours are good fun, but quickly a true player will become bored. Despite its defects though, it's more than just an ode to the American constructor, and Ford Racing 3 does deserve to be tried out.